After the Republican Party had a very bad showing in these midterm elections, the new talking point for the Republican Party is I can't believe I'm about to say this. Republicans are finally understanding that Americans do not like rape and incest.
You want to know who else didn't like it? The people we pillaged and plunged to get the country. Yeah, I said it. I'm here to start a war. I want to make people angry. No, but seriously, I don't understand what the missing picture is here. So I'll make it extremely clear to you. If you're a Republican person, if you're a Republican voter, Godspeed to you, whatever your might is. But if you think arguing on the points of women's reproductive rights or the safe haven of women is something to argue against as the party of family values and family structures, you've missed the point. Not only have we seen it in the most conservative areas of Ohio, Kentucky, Louisiana, and best believe it's going to happen here in Virginia, Wisconsin, and Iowa, where women's rights are being upheld and women's safety and reproduction is being upheld. It's going to become quite apparent that the way to go is with the women. Let's be clear. More women vote in elections than men. So when you put yourself against a whole entire demographic of women who live longer than men and vote more than men, what makes you think you're going to win this battle? The Republican Party has made their whole notion of taking rights away. And they chose women for the last 2 or 3 years, and they're suffering the consequences. You're going to see a major shift in the House, and you're going to see a major shift in the Republican Party. But ultimately, these debates are meaningless. These are just people vying for spots within the Trump administration when he eventually gets the ticket. And it should speak magnitudes for you that a person who's not even on the stage is going to win. And these jackrabbits are fighting for scraps. These aren't leaders. These are animals.
Okay, so Mr. West, how do you feel about half of your elected officials being so out of touch that they don't understand that Americans don't like rape and incest?
I think Hero said it well. It's hard to kind of just like reading through the article, right? To see them be that out of touch, and they think that they're arguing on the side of pro-life, and again trying to control women and tell them what they should do. And I think they're getting exactly what they deserve, right? They're losing in the polls, and women are coming out and voting, and they want control of their body. Um, I do have one interesting point here, but I'll save it until the tail end of this. Like one little like asterisk I'd like to put on this topic. I think women should have 100% control of their bodies, right, and do whatever they see fit when it comes to children. I think there needs to be something in there, like something in fine print that says like, if a man decides to not be a part of the baby, he pays like a fine early on and removes his name, and then he's gone too. Like everybody should be able to exit the situation if they want. Sorry,
There's
I can get
literally
down votes if I.
there's literally a clause in law about that. So basically, if you're an investment, so if you make an investment and you lose all of your investment, you can't come back and say, "Hey, I just want what I gave you back." You took the risk, so you must also attribute the results of it. So, hey, you decided to go in without your hat. What you mad your hair wet for?
That is a conversation that we just had. My friend Goat is in the chat. We just had this conversation because I can't remember what state this is, but they're trying to pass legislation that will give the option to not have to pay child support.
Yeah, if two consenting agree not to pay, sure, have at it. But you out. I don't look, ladies, gentlemen. I wouldn't trust myself to pull a goddamn pizza out the oven. So why y'all here putting y'all bets on each other like you ain't about to have a baby from nothing? Like, don't roll the dice if you don't want to lose your money.
One party can back out of the situation, and the other party has no choice. And I believe in everyone should have a choice. That's all I'm saying.
Okay,
They should have control of their body 100%, and we should have some type of say so to back out
So
of the
just put on a
so
situation.
when you
condom
say
or
okay,
You
or get a
should.
snip.
when you say back out of the situation, women, as I understand, and please correct me if I'm wrong, they have two
Hmm.
options. They can abort the pregnancy, or they
Correct.
can give up the child at birth with no consequences. Are those the instances in which you're referring to?
No, I'm saying like a special clause for men that says like, hey, I understand that she's gonna move forward with this having this baby, and I'd want the opportunity to say, hey, I didn't consent to it, I don't agree to it, and early on, I want to terminate all rights that I have, and I'll pay this fine, and I'll back out of this, and the baby can't have my last name, and you guys can come seek child support from me.
You didn't consent before or after you shot the club up.
That was
Like, wait, like
But you keep
you
using the shoot the
you went
club
into
up,
the
right?
club with
But
the AK-47,
if the woman decides she can terminate the pregnancy if she likes, correct?
but you could
And
also
she leaves
correct.
her
decide not
club,
to
get
go in
shit.
raw.
You could.
Correct. And that was my
Both parties
argument.
can. Both parties have the opportunity to have safer sex, to have birth control, to take things after said sex. But if someone decides to move forward with it and the other person isn't okay, just like she has the ability to terminate, he should have the ability to terminate the relationship with said. I don't. It's sticky, but I just thought that was an interesting
Hmm.
point. That's it.
I
That's all I'm
I
saying.
understand the argument. And as I
Hmm.
said, we just had this conversation earlier. My point was, as Hero pointed out, you made the choice first
First,
because you made the choice to either, well, you made the
Hmm.
choice to have unprotected sex.
ain't
Then you
ain't
made the
no
choice
woman.
to shoot up the
Both
club.
both did.
Right. There's consequences to shooting up the club.
Club.
Correct.
Oh,
Now,
okay,
she
without
hasn't, give me 1 second, please.
yeah.
She has an out with abortion. He had an out with pulling out. She has an out with being able to give the child up. He had an out by putting on a condom. So they both had two outs. They both chose not to. No,
Yeah.
no, no.
Yeah, like
No, I don't think that's equal. I still think that they I think both men and women have opportunities to have safer sex, to not have sex, to take birth control, to take Plan Bs, and then at the very tail end is some type of abortion or adoption for the child. And the man, let's say he couldn't pull out, or I don't know, like safe sex and all the other stuff didn't happen, she still has that opportunity, the last kind of thing that she decides to do. I'm not saying it's 100% right, but just something that I've always thought about. Like, what about this last ditch effort for men that wanted to kind of get out, or, sometimes women trap certain men into certain situations, right? I don't know. I feel like it's
a
complicated, and I don't want to
vasectomy.
step on
Yes, it is
anyone's toes
complicated.
or,
I agree.
It
yeah.
is
So
complicated,
I
but
want to be
like
respectful at the same time.
no,
So,
for sure. But
yeah.
if I'm going to hold anyone accountable, I'm going to hold men accountable because we brag about how we want to be leaders. We brag about how we want to be
True.
the front facing sectors, and then when it comes down for us to become those men and lead the
Right.
way, we get shaky in the knees. Like you pop smoke, man. There was a smoking. There was you pop smoke. That means somebody got fired on. Shit. So like
Oh man.
that's how I gotta be.